Hello and good evening students, and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnakar, and today we are going to cover three important writers from modern age writers category, or whatever you call it. Okay, so here we are going to talk about Samuel Butler, John Galsworthy, and Francis Burney. Okay, so you can get my lecture at 8 p.m. as I always tell you this. But before diving into the video, let me share that there is a great opportunity to prepare smartly for the April 2024 Maharashtra SET. Okay, Global Online is offering a comprehensive literature course that you will have access to video lectures that explain concepts using short and effective methods. The course also provides downloadable PDF notes for your convenience. Additionally, you will get mock tests that stimulate real exam condition, boosting your final preparation. Okay, and the best part is that you are getting complete course of paper 1 for free. Okay, so to reach out to the provided contact number to learn more. Right now, if you want to watch the free videos, first download the Global Online app. Once you are in, head to the source section. There you'll find details of all the courses. Use the search bar to directly type in the course name, and you will see an overview along with the fees for the duration. Click on the content section and you will get unit wise folders. In each unit you will get few lectures, evaluation, notes, mock tests and MCQs. No need for extra reading. Now, if you decide to join the paid course, let me tell you that we are starting a new batch from 22nd of February. So don't forget the date. Okay, if you are interested, join it. And there you'll also be added to a WhatsApp group. In that group, you'll receive PDF for each session along with the PDF videos link. It's a great way to stay connected and get additional resources. So happy learning. Now, let's start with Samuel Butler. So, first thing first, he was born in 1835. When? 1835 and died in 1902. Okay, he was born in 1835 and died in 1902. He was also considered as a critic because he worked somewhere, contributed in that category. He was a novelist because he wrote a lot of novels, so obvious. Okay, one more thing that you need to know, that he translated, okay, Iliad and Odyssey, made prose translations. Okay, so that is important for you to remember, that he actually translated Iliad and Odyssey. Now, let me tell you some important works of Samuel Butler. The first and very important work is Erewhon. Basically, it stands for nowhere. Just turn, okay, just rearrange this title. O N O then W H E R E. Okay, somewhere arrange it and it means nowhere. Okay, Erewhon. Erewhon has another title. You can even say that it has a full title including or, colon or over the range. Okay, so even if you'll get this title, do remember this is a work of Samuel Butler. Now, it was first published but anonymously in 1872. When? In 1872, after a long year when he born. Okay, it's a satire on Victorian society, because Victorian society, when you read the basic idea, what was the setting, what was the background, what was the scenario at the time, you will get to know, okay, there are a lot of things that needs to be taken care of and needs to be talked about. Okay, so it's actually a satire on Victorian society, and it is set in a fictional country, and the fictional country has no name. Basically, there is no mention of that, so you need to remember this. Now, sometimes being compared to Gulliver's Travel because of the satirical work. Okay, satirical utopia work. Now, also compared to one other work, that is News from Nowhere. Okay, News from Nowhere, which is a work of William Morris, a very important writer from the perspective of net. Okay, News from Nowhere, and also Gulliver's Travels. Okay, now one of the first to explore ideas of artificial intelligence. This is the first work where a writer has discussed about the artificial intelligence. It was actually very much influenced by Darwin's On the Origin of Species, and the machines developed out of the Industrial Revolution. Because of that, because of the influences, it actually appeared or talked about or explored the ideas of artificial intelligence. Do remember this. In this particular work, Erewhon has talked about this. Now characters are important. You need to remember the characters. The first, Higgs, Chobok. It sounds like it's like Chabuk, no? That long wire kind of thing and used to beat somebody. Then Ram. Okay, it's not Ram. Ram. Senoj, Noshnibor. So different names. Zolora. Okay. Irowena. Somewhere very much related to the title. Mahaina. Yidgrun. Okay, so these are the names. You don't have to remember all of it, but yes, do keep this in mind. Okay, this kind of characters are in Erawan. Okay, that was written by Samuel Butler. Now the second work is The Way of All Flesh. The Way of All Flesh. It was published in 1903 and it's a semi-autobiographical novel. Semi because it's not an autobiography, but somewhere you'll relate some of the things with the life of Samuel Butler. Okay, so that is why The Way of All Flesh, it's a semi-autobiographical category. Now it's a social criticism, of course, because society of course there was a lot of societal problems, so it's a societal social criticism. It is also known or called as Ernest Pontifex or The Way of All Flesh. Ernest Pontifex, sometimes we call it Ernest Pontifex because of the character name. Okay, now it actually attacks the Victorian hypocrisy. A lot of writers, when I was considering this works and the modern writing, because of the age, okay, because of the duration he was born and he died. Now it traces 4 generations of the Pontifex family. Do remember this. And the title is from a quotation, and that quotation is from biblical Hebrew, like Bible, from Bible. But which Bible? Douay Rheims Bible. Okay, and the translation part, basically the translation Bible. Now the lines are, go the way of all the earth. Go the way of all the earth, meaning to die. Okay, now the narrator who is telling the story, who is narrating it, who is Overton, Godfather is the central character. Okay, moving on to the next writer, John Galsworthy. He was born in 1867 and died in 1933. He was born in 1867 and died in 1933. He is basically an English novelist and playwright because he wrote plays also. Okay, and is best known for his trilogy. And you need to understand, I will tell you this. Now, all together, he wrote a lot of works, as I mentioned here. 20 novels, 28 completed plays, 5 collection of short stories, 3 volumes of poetry, 11 volumes of essays and sketches. Wow. Occasional stories he wrote. He also wrote some pamphlets, newspaper articles, and also some are essays which were not published, which left unfinished, unpublished basically, and sketches as well. Okay. And there is an important thing what Virginia Woolf said about him. Call the 3 the Edwardians and accuse them of presiding over an age when character disappeared or was mysteriously engulfed. Okay, so she said this, and you need to know the other 2. Okay, do find out. It's your job. Now let's talk about a work, and I think the only work is important. Just remember that much. That would be enough for you. Okay. The work is the Forsyte Saga, which was published in 1992, and it basically includes a series of 3 novels and 2 interludes. And do remember the names of the interludes and also the names of the novels. Okay. So the other 3 novels are basically The Man of Property. It needs to be in bold. The Man of Property 1906. In Chancery 1992 and To Let 1921. Okay, The Man of Property 1906, In Chancery 1992 and To Let 1921. And the other interludes are Indian Summer of a Forsyte 1918 and Awakening 1920. These are the works that you need to understand, that it's a series. The First Eye Saga is a series of some works, includes 3 novels and 2 interludes, and these are the novels. Okay, these are the interludes, and do remember the names as I have already. Now let's talk about the third writer, okay, Frances Burney. She was born in 1752 and died in 1840. When she was born in 1752 and died in 1840. And you don't need to remember this. Okay, she is known as Frances Burney, of course, then as well as Penny Burney, and later she became known as Madame d'Herville. Madame d'Herville. So she actually contributed to a lot of genres. For example, satirist. He worked as a satirist, novelist, diarist, and playwright. Okay, so more than two. So there are 4 works that we are going to cover. Evelina we are going to cover, but in detail we'll cover Evelina. Then Cecilia will cover in a lot of, not in deep, but yeah, surface level information will be enough. Then Camilla will cover, then The Wanderer. Okay, so we'll cover 4 works that are important. So let's start with Evelina. Evelina basically has a long title, Evelina, of the history of a young lady's entrance into the world. And do remember this full title because it's very important. They ask, okay. It was published in 1778. Why I continuously or 1919? I think it's repetitive. Now, it has 3 volumes and the category it belongs epistolary novel, okay, episodes, epistolary novels. Now, let me tell you, it's actually a coming of age novel because you'll see a growth of the main character, okay. A novel that explores the coming of age journey of its protagonist, Evelina Anville. It was set in 18th century and it actually represented the whole story in the form of letters, okay. And you will be having a lot of glimpses or experiences or incidences of Evelina's life, how she is handling societal norms, how she is facing the struggles that she is encountering in her life because of the societal pressures, societal norms, societal procedures, whatever you call it, okay. Basically, she was an orphaned young woman, and but eventually she actually introduced to high society, and there she started feeling neglected because she was coming from somewhere a very different place. She belonged to a very different place. Ultimately, she introduced to a high society, and there she felt and faced basically a lot of challenges and social and moral dilemmas. People are having a different moral values, and she is having a different moral values. So actually, those things were clashing, okay. So as I have already mentioned here, that the title of the history of a young lady's entrance into the world. So she is actually entering into the world. Which kind of world? To a higher society's world, okay, high society world. Now, Evelina's growth as an individual is central to the story, and her experiences serve as a commentary on the position of women in 18th century England, okay. So it was set in 18th century, of course England is the place. So there actually it is through the character of Evelina, writer wanted to show it to people that how it was, how women were at the time, how people were pressurizing women, how Victorian society were for the women's, okay. So that is actually a kind of commentary you're going to see. You will feel that, okay, if a writer is talking about Evelina, for example Frances Burney, she is actually talking about everyone there, every woman out there, right, in 18th century. Now, key characters are Evelina, of course, Evelyn, Lord Orville, a potential love interest. Then second, Captain Mirvan, Evelina's guardian because she was an orphan child, and Madame Duval, okay, Evelina's grandmother, right. So these 4 characters are important and you need to remember them, right. Now let's cover the second work, Cecilia. Cecilia was published in 1782, and do remember the subtitle as I have already told you. Subtitle is Memoirs of an Heiress. Okay, Memoirs of an Heiress. And the category it belongs to, novels of manners. Okay, genre is novels of manners. It's a titular character. Okay, the full name is Cecilia Beverley. Basically, have you ever heard a kind of story where a woman got a lot of wealth? Okay, and then she needs to find out how to tackle it, how to face the society, how to do things, how she is going to make it for the rest of her life. So this is the story. This is basically, Cecilia Beverley is such a kind of woman who actually inherits a large fortune, and the story explores the challenges and societal pressures she faces as a young woman navigating her newfound wealth. Because in a Victorian society, as I've already told you, things were not very nice, right, for women. So if somebody, a woman, is finding or inherits a large fortune, people will be very doubtful. Yeah, how will you manage it? Oh, it's not possible. Oh my God, this kind of thing would have happened. Now, third is Camilla. Camilla was published in 1796 and it actually subtitled as A Picture of Youth. Okay, and the full title of Camilla is Camilla Tyrrell, and she is very innocent, a virtuous kind of woman, the woman who maintains her moral dignity, follows morality, right? But here she actually faces a familial responsibilities, societal expectations. Of course, three of these novels are facing the same thing, but there are different difficulties. Here, familiar responsibilities are there. Second one was talking about the wealth thing, and the first one was talking about how she is facing the high society, right? Now, the last one is The Wanderer, or Female Difficulties, colon, for semicolon, or comma, Female Difficulties, 1814. Now, the title is The Wanderer because you don't know the protagonist's name, because she is a wanderer. Okay, she is helping herself by hiding herself. Okay, she is not disclosing herself to anyone. She is hiding herself. Do you remember the Zindagi movie? There is a deleted scene of Shah Rukh Khan and Alia Bhatt. Basically, Shah Rukh Khan was Jug, the character, was disclosing or basically telling her a story about a girl who was a queen, and she was actually hiding herself. She was hiding her body by representing it to a man's body. Okay, so throughout her life, she hided herself. She faced a lot of battles, she fought a lot of battles, and eventually she got a person where she discloses herself, and he actually accepted him. He actually accepted her. Okay, so eventually she discloses herself as a woman and represented to the society that okay, I am a woman, and she accepted herself as well, and let the people accept that too. Okay, so that kind of not that kind of, but there is a mystery, an unnamed protagonist where she is hiding herself, and how she faces the challenges you will get to know in this particular story. Okay, I'm really sorry for this. Okay, so thank you so much. We'll meet in the next lecture. Okay, and we'll be eager to meet you once again with other modern writers' work. Okay, so for now, thank you so much and all the very best.